Now this illustration deals with a supplemental electrode required in accordance with NEC 250.53A2 as an apple, an exception. Now notice, let's review the notes before we get into more detailed information here. But the note 1 is talking about a supplemental electrode shall be connected to one of the following: a rod, pipe, or plate electrodes, a grounding electrode conductor, a grounded system, a electrode conductor, or listed there, a NFGSR type conductor, or any grounding system electrode. Now, note 2 calls for suggested requirements pertaining to below the permanent moisture level 250.53A is an Apple 1. Now, as we have called out previously, most inspectors look at the permanent moisture level would be like rocks and anything above that. Clay, where you might have sand in clay, they kind of say, yeah, that's your first moisture level that will hold moisture. So that's what that's kind of talking about. But notice the rod that's grounding that service. Now, if you notice here, the rod is the service ground. But if it doesn't have a 25 ohms or less, and the information shown says, no, it's over 25 ohms, we're not complying with 250.53A as an Apple II exception, and 250.53D2, we have to supplement the rod. You could do it with a plate, or you could do it with another driven rod or a pipe in accordance with 250.52A5 and 250.53A2, item 1. But the plate electrode, remember, has to comply with 250.52A as an Apple 7, as well as the installation rules of 250.53A2, item 1. But what we're talking about here is a supplementary electrode because the driven rod measures over 25 ohms, and we have to add another electrode, or maybe 2 in some cases, to get it with the 25 ohms or less requirement. And remember, anytime you see one of these illustrations, like up at the left, you have GSC, that's the grounded service conductor. If you go over and look at in the note 1, C, D, C and D, where we have those abbreviations, go to the Stallcup's Design Book, Volume 2, or 1 in that manner. Look at the abbreviations, and it will tell you what that abbreviation stands for, so you don't get hung up and keep trying to determine, well, what are they talking about here with this abbreviation. The abbreviations in the back of the book, Stallcup's Design Books, Volume 1 or 2, will illustrate that to you just for your information. But this figure 16-70 deals with supplementary electrodes required where the electrode you're dealing with doesn't have the required resistance, such as in NEC 250.53A2 with the exception.